Taking shots. I'm Jeff Stein with today's Iowa Politics Report. The first COVID-19 vaccines were administered this month, coming in record time. Hard not to point out that the president said in the summer that the first vaccines would come by the end of the year, but he was ridiculed for making such an obviously false suggestion in a desperate campaign ploy. Except that it happened, of course. There's a limited amount of these vaccines to go around, so it's been generally agreed that frontline healthcare folks should be first in line, followed by those at greatest risk, namely those above a certain age and residing at a long-term care facility. All good, except that to no one's surprise, members of Congress were also included in those to get the first shots because of something called continuity of government. Now, some refused, like U.S. Senator Charles Grassley of Iowa, who noted he already had tested positive and thought the vaccine should go to someone else. But it's led to quite a dust-up on the left in the U.S. House, a division among members of the so-called squad. Congresswoman AOC apparently does not want us to call her that anymore because it's disrespectful. However, that is her Twitter handle, so I guess I'll refer to her as @AOC. Well, she got the shot, despite barely being 31 years of age, claiming it was to set a positive example. That's not how others in the squad saw it and called her out publicly for taking a vaccine that should have gone to someone who was more at risk. All this came, of course, after @AOC said in an interview that Speaker Pelosi and Minority Leader Schumer should stand aside for younger leadership, and after she was rebuffed in an attempt to secure a committee leadership position. Oh, and after she said in a post-election interview that it was depressing that her party lost the House. Maybe she's looking ahead to 2022. We'll talk about all this more next week, but this is yet another example of how fragmented the two major parties are and how that will hurt actual governing going forward. While @AOC's intent may have been to set a good example for others, it smacked of entitlement, the very thing I thought she and the others were against. And that's the Iowa Politics Report for Tuesday, December 29 on Twitter, Instagram, and Parler @Iowa Politics. I'm Jeff Stein on News Talk 1540 KXEL.